Trig, we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we have the SOHCAHTOA methods. Those are the strategies. SOHCAHTOA, what if you ever need to figure out what the angle is? What are you doing? Inversing. The angle process means to inverse button it. Okay, what are we doing on this first triangle? SOHCAHTOA stuff. SOHCAHTOA stuff. Can you give me some letters? Give me an OAH on that triangle. According to that angle, where's your O? Where's your A? Where's your H? There's a letter that I don't need. I don't need that O. So that is which of the three methods? The SO, the CA, or the TOA? CA. So I'm going to go cos of 48 degrees equals the fraction A divided by H. I'm just going to write that over 1 so that I'm making sure my brain knows what to multiply and divide. And that's a multiply. On your exam, what are you going to double check? It's in degrees before I start anything. Okay, are we matching on your calculations? 25.43. Okay, I need angle X. Angle X. Ooh, what are we doing? Angle. I'm doing an inverse. I'm doing an inverse. Which inverse am I doing? So 8 is what to the X? OAH. O, and this is H. It's the so we're working in the sine function. So we are going to be sine inversing, because this is an angle. What fraction? 8 divided by 10. Sine inverse, and you should put that in brackets. Next triangle, I'm finding an angle again. So I know I'm going to inverse something. Going to be inversing because I'm getting an angle. And the letters are A and H. That's an A and that's an H. So we are going to be cos inversing. That's a CA. Cos inversing A divided by H. I rounded, and it actually rounded up to the whole number. the last triangle on this page. This is a SOHCAHTOA system again. We have a O and an H. Are we picking sine? So I picked sine. I'm going to throw that over a 1. And then I can figure out what to multiply and divide. .11. That's what I got. If anybody is not matching, let me know. Okay, finding x. SOHCAH or TOA. So this is the A, this is the H. So we're going to do a CAH system. So cos of 40-degree angle equals A over H. I'm going to throw this over top of 1. This one is different in the fact that what am I going to do? Timesing, and then I'm going to have to complete that with a divide. Yeah. So just the crisscross on this one is different. So please make sure you are typing this in, because sometimes half the battle for this is just, are you typing it in properly? So make sure we're matching. Am I good, or is somebody different, or what? But my number is good? Find everything. So this is on your exam. One of these. Find everything. Okay, let's go. Boom. Angle S. That fast. What do you got? Angle S. You can do it super quick. Angle S. 37. How can you get that super quick? What is the rule? These have to add up to 180. So that's all you have to do. 180 minus the 90-degree corner minus the 53-degree corner. Okay, which side do you want to go with? There's multiple ways to do this. Do you want to do the hypotenuse side or the top side there? Doesn't matter to me. What'd you say, top side? Okay, are you okay if I call it side S? Because it's across from S. All right, so let's pick 53 degrees. I'm going to pick TOA. Okay, so I'm picking TOA. So the tan of 53 is the opposite 14 besides the adjacent S.
10.55.
Times divide. What did you say, 10.55?
Yeah.
So we have all of our angles. We have those two sides. You still need the long side. Okay, what do you want to do to get that last side? We can do, again, multiple things. What do you want to do? A squared plus b squared? Okay. So a squared plus b squared equals n squared root. I still have it in my calculator, so I'm actually not going to round. I'm just going to square what's in my calculator. Okay, you could have also done 53 degrees and done sine, this whole stuff. All gets you to the same answer, whatever method you pick. Okay, everything again. This time I gave you two sides. So the first thing is, why don't we find the last side? How about? What would you do there? Yeah, the minus Pythagorean. So the big squared minus smaller squared. $6.80 is what I got out of it. Let's pretend you forgot to square root and you wrote me 46.25 on the paper. Would that have not caused you a red flag? Because this can't be bigger than that, right? 10.5 is the largest side of this triangle. So make sure your answers, does it make sense? Okay, let's find an angle. Does anybody have a preference? It doesn't matter to me. D or E? D. Okay, let's find angle D. I'm going to use these two sides that I was given. So that would leave me with the so, the ka, or the toa with it then. Using those three things. Ka, cos of D equals 8 over that. Okay, so I guess I could have wrote it pretty differently here, but what are you doing if you're finding an angle? Always. Angles mean to push what? Cos inverse. Cos inverse of the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. So I got 40.4 out of that. Yeah, no? And how would you get the top angle DE? What would be the trick there? There's a few things you could do, but what's the fastest? 180 minus. 180 minus. Okay, so there's a 100% chance a question like that will be on the exam where I do say solve for everything in this triangle. And I would give you 2 pieces of information and you have to find the rest. Okay, you always need 2 pieces of info. Okay, then we also had this question. I forgot to put it on your first recap. So, solve for x and y. What I'm going to do, Yep. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw these shapes. So 5 is across from the square. So that's the square side, I'm going to call it. The square side is 9 on that one. Which side is the circle side? X is across from the circle there. 12 is across from the circle there. And then the star side, so 7 is a star, and Y is across from the star. Okay, I'm going to set up ratios now. So the small square over the big square, small square over the big square, is the same ratio as the small circle to the big circle. Does that make sense when I'm saying it like that? Small square to big square is equal to small circle to big circle. Okay, do you know which two things to multiply and which one to divide? Multiply, divide. Does your answer make sense in your head? Common question, right? Does it make sense? Okay, I'm going to redo it. Small square to big square is now the same as, now we're going to go with the triangles. So you have to think small triangle to big triangle. Or, sorry, not triangle, star. Small star to big star. Okay, once you have that on your paper, what do you multiply? Divide. Always end with, does it make sense?